What's going on? What is going on? It is your boy Smooth Blaze, and I'd like to welcome you back to CEO Lifestyle, episode 4. Now, before we get into any major points for this week, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one single video. Now, a couple weeks ago, we discussed partnership and resources and why they matter. Partnership is essential to getting the job done, using more than one company and more than one head to get things done. Resources are looking at the assets that we already have, or look at the items that we have and how to execute that properly. So this week, what we will be determining is the difference between assets and liabilities. Again, assets and liabilities. Now, before we get into the breakdown of each of these items, let's look at what the definition of these items mean. First, assets are property owned by a person or a company, regarded as having value and available to meet debts. Those are assets. Defining liabilities. These are financial obligations or debts a person or business owes to another party. It typically has a settlement over time that can be transferred economically through cash, goods, and services. Just keep that in mind. Now that we understand what assets and liabilities are, let's deep dive into classifications of assets. First thing will be current assets. This is short term. Some examples of this will be cash, inventory, or accounts receivable. This could be an invoice that you pay for a service where you provide that service and a month later you get the compensation for it. Those are accounts payable. Another example will be a fixed asset, which this means a long-term thing. When you're looking at assets like this will be goods, services, and to go deeper on what a goods and services would be equipment, land, and buildings. These items are useful in that aspect of being fixed assets. These will not change. The value may go up and down them, but they are solid and they will not be moved. What's the difference between tangible and intangible assets? Tangible assets are anything that you can actually touch with your hands. That could be cash, vehicles, inventory, whatever it is. Intangibles are things that you cannot see. A good example of that would be copyrights, patents, branding, reputation, and also trademarks. These are things you see all around the world, like Nike, Walmart, Target. Those are trademarks. Those are brands. They are copyrighted, so you cannot use their name or use their likeness to get a benefit from it. Finally, when you look at all these now we understand what tangible and intangible items are. Let's look at financial assets. What that entails deals with stocks, bonds, and any bank notes. These are ways of investing to enlarge the finances that you already put in to ensure that your business grows without you doing a lot of work. This could be a year, this could be 2 years, this, that, and another. Those are examples. Liquid assets, just think about it. It's nothing tangible, it's not cash. It's like a good example would be dealing with stocks and bonds or money management tools, which are used to add value to what you've already been building. Now let's look at the different types of liabilities. As we look at these things, what we have to understand is that current liabilities last up to a year, meaning that this debt needs to pay within a year or less. Long-term liabilities last up to a year or more. A good example would be a mortgage payment. A good example would be a car note. Those are examples of long-term liabilities. that are obligated to be paid after a year or more. And lastly would be cognitive liability. What this means is that you have a potential financial obligation such as a lawsuit, gratuities, or anything that deals with debt that has not been paid. Let's say that you have a property that you haven't paid tax on in 5 years and somebody else has been paying on it. What it shows is that they'll send you continual notices saying, look, you missed this year, you missed that year. This other person's been paying your stuff. You need to figure out exactly if you're going to pay those funds back to get your property back or what you're going to do. So always identifying these things. So we got to look at it from that perspective when you're looking at cognitive liabilities. So all these aspects when it comes to liabilities are important. And some other good examples that we can look at on an everyday basis outside of your business on a personal side would be, of course, mortgages if you have a home, credit card debt, which is major in a lot of our communities, especially in the Black community, auto loans, everybody and their mama got one, and this one hurts the most. This deals with student loans. Myself and a lot of people are stuck in this hole, but the obligation is to repay this, not to, if the government forgives it, great, but you are obligated to take care of your business when it comes to paying for this because it's on you. Now that we understand what assets are and liabilities, here's a few questions you have to ask yourself. Question number 1, what type of assets does my company have? Identify, review, look at your inventory, look at the things that you have. What adds value, what decreases in value, but can be a benefit to your company. Understand what that is and maximize on it. Another question you have to ask, are we able to identify our company's liabilities? We are CEOs, remember. Our personal and professional finances are on us, right? So what are areas we have of liability that we have to take on? Are we paying our stuff on time? Is the duration of this time reasonable? What things can we cut away? We have to identify what those liabilities are and how to execute those better to remove those things. Lastly, what are some areas where we can make some improvements? This is very essential. Look at your assets, liabilities. Where can we improve? How can we make our assets stronger? How can we lower the amount of liability that we have? How can we clear debt that's unnecessary? These are things you have to figure out. You have to look at what you have on both ends, assess it. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? Let's execute and get these things done. As CEOs, we are obligated to take care of our business and be able to leverage the things that are essential to our growth. Now, as we close, I would like to thank you for checking out my channel. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, select all so you will not miss one video. Now, before we close, please keep this phrase to your heart. We cannot control the hand that was dealt for us, but we can move with purpose. It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I'm signing out. Peace.